Balance, the philosophy of a complete life. Every human being carries a hidden power within, a power that allows him to achieve anything: wealth, knowledge, fame, respect, or mastery. That power is focus. Whatever a person directs his attention toward, day after day, eventually becomes his reality. But most people make a serious mistake here. They start believing that whatever they focus on is the only thing that matters. They assume that focus alone guarantees success. But the truth is, focus is only one part of success, not the whole. Real success begins only when a person learns to carry balance across all areas of life, when he earns wealth without losing faith, when he gains fame without losing humility, when he works hard without losing peace, when he stays silent yet keeps his thoughts alive. Look around. The world is full of successful people. Some have fame, but no sleep. Some have money, but no love. Some have knowledge, but no wisdom. And others have spirituality, but no connection to life. Different stories, same reason: a lack of balance. This book, Balance, was written to restore that principle, that success isn't about excelling in one direction, but about placing everything where it truly belongs. It's about giving equal importance to every circle of life. The circles of life. Life isn't a straight path. It's a circle made of smaller circles: health, family, faith, friendship, career, money, knowledge, and peace. If even one circle breaks, the entire design collapses. That's why a wealthy man can still feel poor in spirit, and a scholar can remain empty if he never applies his knowledge. Author Muhammad Abrar believes that true success is not found in one domain, but in the harmony of them all. When a person begins to see life as a complete picture, he realizes that life is not a race, it's a journey. Focus versus balance. This book teaches that focus is essential, but focus must exist within balance. When a man focuses only on one thing, he loses everything else. If someone spends his entire life chasing money, he might succeed financially, but his relationships, health, and peace may collapse in the process. If another person spends his life collecting degrees and knowledge but never applies what he learns, his education turns hollow. Even devotion can lose meaning if it disconnects a person from life itself. Religion never asked us to abandon the world. It asked us to balance it. The Prophet ﷺ said, "Your body has a right over you, your eyes have a right over you, and your family has a right over you." True spirituality is not about escape, it's about balance. To live fully means to honor every part of existence: work, worship, love, and rest. When we learn this art, life becomes lighter, deeper, and more meaningful. The wisdom of balance is not only in action, it's in thinking. It protects us from the extremes that destroy peace. Too much talking removes wisdom, but too much silence kills connection. Too much ambition burns the soul, but too much comfort destroys growth. Balance is that middle road, the one that keeps us human, humble, and healthy. Every chapter in this book explores a place in life where balance is lost or found again. Through those lessons, you'll realize that every area of life, health, money, faith, emotions, relationships, has its own rhythm, its own harmony. When we learn to match that rhythm, life stops feeling like a struggle and starts flowing like a song. The mark of true success. A successful person is not the one who owns the most, but the one who feels the most at peace. True success is not a number, not a bank balance, not applause. It is the quiet satisfaction that everything around you is in order: your work, your health, your family, your faith, and your mind. It's knowing when to speak and when to stay silent, when to run and when to pause, when to hold on and when to let go. Even if such a person faces loss, balance brings him back stronger. He doesn't collapse, he realigns. But if someone loses balance, if he falls into addiction, ego, anger, or greed, his focus turns against him. Because focus without balance becomes destruction. The moment he realizes, I went too far, I crossed the line, and decides to correct his path, that's when he starts becoming complete again. He learns to control his anger, to speak less and listen more, to manage time, energy, and emotion. And when he does, he rises, not just as a man, but as a conscious human being. Why balance is the center of life. Balance is not a rule, it's a way of living. It teaches us that the world and the soul are not enemies. They are two halves of one truth. Knowledge and faith are not rivals. They are allies. Reason without faith becomes arrogance. Faith without reason becomes blindness. But when the two unite, we find wisdom. And wisdom is the light that guides us through darkness. The calm voice that says, you already have enough. Just learn to use it right. The author's messages. James Abrar wrote this book for those who are tired of running, for people who achieved much, yet feel empty, for those who have everything, but peace, for those who make everyone else happy, but forget themselves. This book is a pause button in the noise of life, a call to slow down, to look within, and to rebuild everything from the inside out. It doesn't teach you how to win life. It teaches you how to understand life. Because winning without understanding leads to regret, but living with understanding leads to peace. When you balance your mind, your heart, your faith, and your work, you stop chasing happiness and start creating it. The Final Truth Balance is not just a book, it's a mirror. It reflects your reality, your extremes, your blind spots, and your hidden potential. It shows where you went too far, where you fell behind, and where your peace still waits for you. It whispers, greater than, peace isn't found when you have everything. Peace is found when what you have feels enough. A person who can align his desires with discipline, his emotions with logic, his wealth with generosity, and his faith with reason, that person becomes unstoppable. He doesn't just survive, he transforms. He becomes a source of balance for others, a silent teacher, a calm light in a chaotic world. And that's what this book invites you to become. A balanced soul, a complete human being, a true success story written by harmony, not by haste. Because in the end, balance is not the goal of life. It is life. Every human being is born into a world already in motion, where time never stops and everything around him demands attention. From the moment we open our eyes, we are surrounded by choices, voices, and directions that pull us in different ways. Some call it ambition, others call it responsibility. But underneath it all lies one hidden truth. Every person is trying to find balance, the invisible point where peace and progress meet. Yet most fail to find it because they spend life reacting, not reflecting. They run without knowing where they are going. And at the end of the race, they realize they never moved within. The story of balance begins with time. Time is not just a clock on the wall or a number on your phone. It is life itself, silently disappearing while we look away. Every morning gives us 24 hours, equal for kings and beggars, for the wise and the careless. But what makes a difference is not the quantity of hours, but the quality of awareness. The man who values time values life. The one who wastes time wastes everything. Time cannot be bought, borrowed, or stored. It can only be honored. And when you honor time, life begins to honor you. A balanced person does not chase time. He walks with it. He knows there is a time to speak and a time to stay silent, a time to work and a time to rest, a time to hold on and a time to let go. He learns this rhythm through observation and discipline. Life whispers its rhythm to every human being, but only the silent mind can hear it. The noise of the modern world, notifications, opinions, comparisons, drowns out that inner rhythm. Balance is found when you turn down the noise and listen to the pulse of your own soul. The morning holds the secret to balance. Every day is born pure, untouched by noise or chaos. Those who wake early touch that purity. The early hours are not just peaceful, they are powerful. The silence of dawn connects the human mind to divine order. Prayer at that time carries a different weight. Thoughts at that time carry clarity, and intentions made at that time shape destiny. When a person begins his day with alignment, spiritual, mental, and physical, the rest of the day falls naturally into harmony. But balance is not a single decision. It is a lifetime practice. It asks you to choose awareness over speed, discipline over impulse, purpose over confusion. A balanced person understands that not every call deserves an answer, not every argument deserves participation, and not every opportunity deserves pursuit. He saves his time for things that multiply peace, not stress. He learns the difference between activity and productivity, between movement and growth. And in that understanding, life becomes lighter. Human desires are endless, and imbalance begins when desires become masters instead of servants. The heart that always wants more can never rest. True wealth is not measured by how much you earn, but by how little you need. When you control your wants, the world loses its power to control you. Balance teaches this art, to use the world without being used by it. You eat, you earn, you build, but you do not become a slave to any of these things. You use them for a purpose beyond pleasure, for peace, for progress, and for service. Patience is another pillar of balance. The impatient person destroys the rhythm of life by demanding results before the process matures. Everything in nature has a time of growth. The seed cannot become a tree overnight. The same rule applies to dreams, relationships, and spiritual growth. Balance reminds you that slow is not weak. Slow is steady, and steady is strong. The wise do not rush, they prepare. They do not react, they respond. In waiting with purpose, patience becomes a form of wisdom, not weakness. Gratitude transforms imbalance into peace. When you focus on what you have instead of what you lack, your heart naturally settles into balance. The ungrateful person lives in a storm even on sunny days. The grateful one finds light even in darkness. Gratitude is not about saying thank you with words. It is about living in a state of trust, knowing that everything happening is for your refinement, not punishment. When you begin to see your challenges as hidden gifts, your balance grows deeper. A balanced person is not emotionless. He feels everything, but does not drown in anything. Anger comes, but he does not become anger. Sadness visits, but he does not build a home there. Joy arrives, but he does not lose awareness in excitement. Balance is the ability to feel without losing control. It is to hold emotions like water in your hand, firm enough not to drop them, gentle enough not to crush them. Those who master this art radiate calmness that comforts everyone around them. Modern life glorifies multitasking, but the truth is, the mind is designed for depth, not division. Doing many things at once only fragments your focus and weakens your soul. Balance teaches single-mindedness. Hello, my friend. My name is James Abrar, the author of The Balance, a book born from over 40 years of real-life experience and observation. This is not just a story. It's a reflection of what I have learned about life, time, purpose, and human balance. Every chapter of this audiobook brings you closer to one timeless truth, that peace and progress are not opposites, but two sides of the same balance. If these words connect with you, then I invite you to explore more chapters of The Balance. Each one carries a piece of wisdom, sometimes emotional, sometimes practical, but always meant to guide you back to your center. Remember, this is not about changing your life overnight. It's about realizing the power of balance within every decision, every relationship, and every dream. After listening, if you wish to read the full book or keep it with you, you can find the official link in the description below. Thank you for being here, and may your journey toward balance never stop. To do one thing at a time with full presence. When you read, read completely. When you listen, listen deeply. When you pray, pray with your whole being. Half attention creates half results. Full attention creates mastery. Balance is nothing but full attention stretched across time. Discipline is the bridge between desire and achievement. Without discipline, even good intentions die young. Balance demands boundaries. Waking at the same hour, eating in moderation, keeping promises, finishing what you start. It might look simple, but such discipline builds inner power. The one who cannot rule himself cannot rule anything else. True freedom is not doing what you want. It is having the strength to not do what harms you. Balance brings that freedom. As a river remains pure because it flows, life remains balanced when it moves forward. Stagnation creates decay in thoughts, habits, and relationships. Every day must carry new movement, learning, reflection, or service. Growth keeps the mind young and the soul light. But growth without direction is chaos. Balance gives that direction. It tells you not to grow for fame, but for usefulness, not for applause, but for contribution. That is the difference between ambition and purpose. Ambition burns fast. Purpose burns forever. Life is a series of exchanges. You give something to gain something. The problem arises when you give your peace to gain things that never bring peace back. People trade silence for noise, simplicity for show, truth for convenience. Balance begins when you stop paying such unfair prices. It asks a simple question. What is worth my energy today? When you answer that question with honesty every morning, your entire day aligns with purpose. The man who guards his attention guards his soul. The greatest wealth in the world is inner peace, yet it is the rarest possession. Many chase luxury but live in restlessness. Others live simply but sleep deeply. Balance is not about owning less or more. It is about being owned by nothing. Detachment does not mean indifference. It means involvement without imprisonment. You love, you work, you dream, but you remain free from dependence. This freedom is the soil where happiness grows naturally. Every relationship tests balance. Parents who love too much spoil. Leaders who control too much lose trust, and friends who expect too much create distance. A balanced relationship is one where love and respect travel together, where honesty does not wound and kindness does not lie. Such balance requires maturity. To understand that people are not made to fulfill your expectations. They are made to express their own purpose. You are there to guide, not to govern, to share, not to possess. A balanced mind can turn pain into power. When something breaks in life, a plan, a bond, a dream, imbalance makes you question everything. But balance whispers that every fall carries a seed of wisdom. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is its foundation. The tree of strength grows from the soil of struggle. Every disappointment, if used correctly, becomes a discipline. When you rise again with patience instead of pride, you rise higher than before. In work and ambition, balance draws a fine line between drive and greed. Drive gives direction. Greed blinds it. The modern age celebrates endless hustle but forgets the cost of restlessness. Work done without peace produces exhaustion, not excellence. Balance teaches that success measured by money alone is a failure in disguise. True success is when achievement adds peace, not pressure. When you can enjoy what you earn. When you can rest without guilt. When you can say no without fear. That is success balanced with wisdom. The balance of the body begins with respect. The body is not an ornament. It is the vehicle of the soul. It must be treated with care, not indulgence. Overeating, oversleeping, overworking. Each breaks the harmony of this vehicle. Balance demands moderation in food, movement, and rest. The Prophet's teaching, to eat when hungry, stop before full, and sleep after peace, is not a ritual, it is the biology of balance. A clear body produces a clear mind. You cannot meditate with a tired heart or pray with a restless stomach. The discipline of the body purifies the discipline of the soul. A balanced day has rhythm, effort and ease, noise and silence, giving and receiving. Every person needs moments of retreat to restore focus. Solitude is not loneliness, it is maintenance. Just as machines need pause to cool, humans need silence to renew. In silence, thoughts settle, emotions heal, and priorities realign. The one who fears silence is the one who fears facing himself. But once you sit with your thoughts and learn their patterns, you begin to design them instead of being driven by them. Balance and awareness walk together. You cannot balance what you are unaware of. Most people live on autopilot, reacting to life instead of creating it. They repeat yesterday's but attachment to it is dangerous. Money is a tool. If you use it, it serves you. If you worship it, it enslaves you. Balanced wealth means earning with honesty, spending with purpose, and giving with compassion. Charity is not a loss. It is an investment in peace. The hand that gives stays open for blessings to enter. The miser lives with fear. The generous lives with grace. True prosperity is not how much you own, but how much peace surrounds your earnings. Nature is the greatest teacher of balance. Every sunrise and sunset, every wave and wind, every birth and death, all exist in harmony. When humans forget this rhythm, imbalance enters. The pollution of the earth begins with the pollution of human hearts. Balance with nature means respecting the limits of consumption, sharing resources, and living in gratitude for what sustains us. To destroy nature is to destroy the mirror that reflects divine wisdom. The more we reconnect with nature, the closer we return to our natural peace. Spiritual balance deepens when you begin to listen more than you speak. Silence is not emptiness. It is the space where wisdom enters. In silence, the soul hears what the world cannot tell you. The answers to your confusion, the healing of your wounds, the clarity of your purpose, all come when you dare to pause. The noisy mind cannot receive revelation. The humble heart that listens in stillness becomes the doorway through which truth enters. Balance is also the art of letting go. Life constantly asks you to release what no longer serves your growth, old fears, old anger, old versions of yourself. To hold on is to suffer. To release is to evolve. The seasons change because they let go. Trees shed leaves to grow again. The same rule applies to you. Every ending carries the seed of a new beginning. Balance is trusting that whatever leaves your life is making space for something better to arrive. When balance matures, it turns into compassion. A balanced soul does not judge others quickly, for it understands that everyone fights battles unseen. Instead of reacting to anger, it responds with understanding. Instead of competing, it contributes. Compassion does not mean weakness. It means strength, guided by empathy. Through compassion, you rise above the smallness of ego and participate in the greatness of humanity. The balanced person sees all beings as reflections of one source, deserving of respect and mercy. Leadership without balance becomes tyranny, and freedom without balance becomes chaos. The best leaders are those who rule themselves first. They act with justice, speak with humility, and decide with patience. Their strength lies not in commanding others, but in commanding their own impulses. Such leadership spreads harmony like fragrance. The balanced leader builds people, not empires, and leaves behind peace, not power struggles. The balance of learning and action defines true intelligence. Knowledge without practice becomes arrogance. Action without knowledge becomes ignorance. Balance unites both. You learn, you apply, you reflect, and you evolve. Every mistake becomes a lesson. Every success a reminder of responsibility. Balance teaches you to grow without pride and to fail without despair. It is this rhythm that turns experience into wisdom. Love, too, needs balance. Love without self-respect becomes dependency. Self-respect without love becomes isolation. The heart thrives when both exist together. Balanced love is gentle yet firm. It gives freely but sets boundaries wisely. It forgives without forgetting the lesson. It cares without losing dignity. In such love, relationships become gardens, not prisons. Balance in love allows two souls to grow side by side, not in each other's shadows, but in shared light. Death, the most feared subject, also reveals the meaning of balance. It reminds you that nothing belongs to you. Not wealth, not status, not even the body you live in. This realization is not meant to sadden you, but to free you. When you live with the awareness of death, you stop wasting life. You speak kinder words, you forgive faster, you give more. Balance is understanding that life and death are not opposites. They are two sides of the same truth. One teaches purpose, the other teaches peace. The ultimate balance is surrender, the graceful acceptance of life as it is, not as you wish it to be. It does not mean giving up, it means giving in to divine wisdom. You keep doing your best, but you stop demanding control over outcomes. You trust that what is meant for you cannot miss you, and what misses you was never meant. This surrender is not weakness, it is strength born of faith. When surrender becomes natural, worry disappears. Life becomes a flow, instead of a fight. Balance in thought creates balance in reality. The outer world mirrors the inner state. If your thoughts are scattered, your life will be too. If your thoughts are aligned, your life will follow. Therefore, purification begins not outside, but this mental hygiene is as essential as but physical hygiene. A clean mind reflects divine light effortlessly. When you reach inner balance, you stop reacting to everything around you. The noise of the world loses its grip. You no longer seek validation, because truth itself becomes your approval. You stop chasing happiness and begin radiating it. The balanced person walks through the world like still water, reflecting everything, disturbed by nothing. His calmness is contagious. His presence heals without words. The journey of balance never truly ends. It evolves as you evolve. Some days you will lose it, and that is fine. The purpose is not perfection, but awareness, to notice when you drift and gently return. Balance is a daily prayer, not a one-time achievement. Each sunrise is a chance to realign. Each night is a reminder to rest in gratitude. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. In the end, the message of balance is universal. Peace is not found by escaping life, but by embracing it wisely. It is not a distant dream. It is a discipline of the moment. To live with balance is to live awake, aware of your time, your actions, your purpose, and your connection to the Creator. Such awareness transforms ordinary living into sacred living. A balanced soul becomes a light for others. It teaches not through speeches, but through presence. Its calmness guides families, its fairness heals communities, and its faith inspires nations. The legacy of balance is not a monument of stone, but a fragrance that lingers long after the person is gone. When a man lives with balance, even his silence speaks peace. The world will continue to change, but the principles of balance will remain eternal. Patience, gratitude, moderation, and faith. These are not theories. They are the laws of harmony that govern existence. Whoever aligns with them lives in peace, no matter the chaos outside. Balance is not just the art of living, it is the art of returning to simplicity, to truth, to God. And in that return, life finally feels whole. Hello, my friend. My name is James Abrar, the author of The Balance, a book born from over 40 years of real-life experience and observation. This is not just a story. It's a reflection of what I have learned about life, time, purpose, and human balance. Every chapter of this audiobook brings you closer to one timeless truth, that peace and progress are not opposites, but two sides of the same balance. If these words connect with you, then I invite you to explore more chapters of The Balance. Each one carries a piece of wisdom, sometimes emotional, sometimes practical, but always meant to guide you back to your center. Remember, this is not about changing your life overnight. It's about realizing the power of balance within every decision, every relationship, and every dream. After listening, if you wish to read the full book or keep it with you, you can find the official link in the description below. Thank you for being here, and may your journey toward balance never stop.